Guthrie Douglas TESS systems are technical products that require installation, servicing and maintenance by professionals with the appropriate skills. If in doubt, please contact us for further advice and training. Standard components and assemblies supplied. The kit supplied will comprise of the following items: installation manual and limit setting tool, head box assembly containing the fully assembled barrel assembly which includes the motor, rear guides, plastic side locks, front cover plate and tension cable. The tools required. You will need the following tools to carry out the installation: motor test lead, tape measure, pliers, screwdrivers both posi drive and flathead, soft mallet, cable cutters, spirit level, RTS handset for RTS motor control if applicable. Other tools will be required to create the fixing holes into the building structure. Preparing for installation. Remove the head box lid by undoing the 2 retaining screws. Remove the 2 fixing screws used to retain the barrel assembly into the head box. It is only necessary to remove the 2 screws located on the motor side of the assembly. Unwrap the motor cable. Carefully remove the barrel assembly, lifting firstly from the motor side and sliding the barrel free from the bobbin retaining bracket on the other side. Feed the motor cable to be free from the head box base. Installing the head box and side guide channels. Starting with the head box base, remove the washer fitted to the bobbin retaining bracket and store safely to refit later. The head box base will be supplied with pre-drilled fixing holes at both ends. Mark out the correct position and secure in place. The fixings required to secure the system to the building structure are not supplied in the kit. Check that the head box is installed horizontally using a spirit level. Refit the washer to the bobbin fixing bracket. Fix into place the rear guide side channels. One off left hand and one off right hand rear guide assemblies are supplied. The guides are supplied with pre-drilled holes for fixing. The fixing screws are not supplied. The rear guide channel is to be installed equal to the head box width and in line with the outside edge of the head box end plates. Repeat the process on the other side. Ensure the guides are fixed securely. Important measurement checks. It is important to check the measurements of the installation. The rear guides are to be installed at equal width to the head box. Check this along the system drawer to ensure they are parallel. Take a measurement across the diagonals. System squareness is essential for good operational performance of the product. Should the diagonal measurements taken be more than 10 mm out of square, then readjustment is required. Changing the motor position. You can change the motor position if it will suit the installation better. Simply swap the position of the motor and the bobbin assembly. Installing the barrel assembly. Typically this will be a two-person task. Starting at the bobbin side of the barrel assembly, ensure the spherical locating ball is positioned so it can slide directly onto the fixing bracket. Locate in place and support the barrel to assist the work required on the motor side. Feed the motor cable through the cable exit hole pre-drilled in the headbox base lid. Secure the barrel in place by refitting the screws removed earlier. Pull the motor cable through fully and check closely that the cable will not be damaged by any interference. Ensure the cable will not be in contact with the rotating cable spools. Fit the rubber cable grommet in place. Connecting the motor TESS lead, radio RTS motor. Connect the TESS lead to the motor cable. Turn on the power supply. The process is demonstrated using a Somfy TESS lead. Using this, you will need to press the RTS switch for power to be supplied to the motor. To link the RTS handset to the motor, press and hold down simultaneously the up and down control buttons. The handbar will acknowledge by shifting up and down. If the operating direction of the motor does not match the handset control, you can reverse the direction of the motor by pressing and holding down the stop button. The handbar will acknowledge. the cable installation loose. Feed the tension cable behind the headbox diverting pulley. Pass the cable around the rear guide return pulley. With the hem bar retracted close to the headbox, feed the tension cable into the hem bar end cap. The cable will feed through and it is guided to the other side. Pull through enough cable to allow you to feed the cable around the other rear side guide return pulley. Returning the cable back around the diverting pulley inside the headbox. Pull through approximately 200 mm of cable and leave the cable hanging. Spring tensioning using the handset, radio RTS motor. Using the motor to tension the spring, retract the hem bar back towards the barrel assembly. The hem bar will wedge in between the headbox base lid and barrel assembly. Continue to drive the motor back until the motor stalls at full torque capacity. You may need to press the RTS control handset a few times. Using the RTS handset, backwind the motor by the number of turns indicated in the installation manual. Using the tension cable entry hole on the cable spool as a datum point, backwind the motor from stall. Drive the motor until you find the cable entry hole, and from this point continue to drive the motor for the specified number of turns, in this case 1 turn. Insert the cable into the cable spool on one side only. Ensure the cable is securely held in place by the grip lock. Cable grip lock demonstration. To securely fix the tension cable in place, simply push the cable through the entry hole in the cable spool and into the grip lock used for retaining the cable. The cable will push through approximately 50 mm. Check that the cable is held securely. Cutting of the tension cable to the specified length. The installation manual specifies the cable cut length depending on the system type and orientation. Pull the cable tight to ensure there is not any slack cable around the system. Then measure on the side channel the cut length specified in the installation manual. Use where the side channel meets the headbox base lid as your datum point. Cut the cable. Tensioning the fabric. Insert the cable through the cable spool entry hole and into the grip lock. Pull the cable taut to remove any slack cable by the method shown. Ensure the cable is pushed over to be against the outboard shoulder of the cable spool. Using the RTS handset, deploy the hem bar. The cable being retained by hand will wrap onto the spool as the hem bar is deployed. The fabric is now tensioned. Fit the side lock guides. With the hem bar in the retracted position, carefully slide the plastic side lock to encapsulate the fabric zip. Push fit the side lock into place along the length of the rear guide. Do this on both sides. Limit setting, radio RTS motor. Detailed instructions of the limit setting procedure can be found in the installation manual supplied. To set the lower limit position, in this case at the return pulley end, press and hold the stop and down button simultaneously and the hem bar will start to deploy. Stop the hem bar travel before reaching the desired position. Use the down button to finalise the correct position, making sure the hem bar does not travel beyond the end of the rear guide. Press and hold the up and stop button simultaneously and the hem bar will retract. Stop the hem bar before reaching the desired position. Use the up button to finalise the position, making sure the hem bar final position does not touch with the headbox base lid. Press and hold the stop and down button simultaneously and the hem bar will deploy. After a few seconds, stop the hem bar travel by pressing the stop button on the handset. Press and hold the stop button for 2 seconds until the hem bar acknowledges. Turn over the RTS handset and press the programming key button for 2 seconds and the hem bar will acknowledge. The limit positions are now set. Operate the system to check the limit positions. The hem bar must not touch either the headbox or travel beyond the rear side guide channel at the return pulley end. Fit the front guide covers. Clip the front guide cover in place. Using a soft mallet, fix the guide cover in place along the channel length. Do this on both sides. Check the front guide cover is seated correctly. The opening should be equal along the entire length. Check this on both sides. Fit the headbox front cover. Fit into place the headbox front cover. Push the cover into position and fit the retaining screws at each end. The final check. Operate and visually check over the system. Check to make sure that the fabric is retained in the side lock and the hem bar travel is smooth through full deployment. Check the limit positions.